Hey, welcome back to Score on Business. We're still talking with Guthrie Mason from Gu3D Printing. So Guthrie, before the break, we were talking about larger companies and 3D printing. So what would you do for a large company in 3D printing, both for prototype as well as for actual product?
So you've got several uses, like you said. They can use things for product, or they can use them in their process. So, for instance, dental companies like Smile Direct, Invisalign, they use 3D printing to create their molds. So they actually print the teeth of their customers, and they use that for a mold. So it's not so much that they're using that for production, but they're using it in their process. Companies like GM, Ford, I can help them get their product right. They do it. They do it with every model they release. So they print full-size cars in plastic. So large companies probably are the hidden teammate in this. They're the ones who produce or give us products regularly, and they use it in their system regularly. So where entrepreneurs use it for their new product or an idea, they're using it in their process. So that's what makes it kind of unique for larger companies.
So if a company, can you talk about, let's say a company wants to have a product made, not for prototype, but it's an actual product that's going to be used. What are examples that would be a good fit for that with the kind of printing you do?
Sure. So the one limitation on 3D printing is the quantity. Okay. So it's very hard for us to print 1 million of something in the time that you can injection mold that. But if you're coming out with a product that you want to do 2,000 and you need them in 4 weeks, then we're definitely there for you, and maybe that's the initial product, or if it's something you're using in your process that there's several of them, we can do that. So the limit is on how many and the time frame to do that. So but we can still do it's come a long way. You can still do a tremendous amount of prototypes or products in a given time frame.
So for 3D printing parts or things that are going to be used over and over, what are good fits there?
Medical, there's some good fits in medical. So the machines you see in patients' room, a lot of those are 3D printed, and they are actual printed products there. Now there are phases past 3D printing that we get started. So urethane castings, we build the mold for it, and that's more of a production part. So anything in the medical industry, because I do have a class 6 medical grade material, so it's perfectly fine to be used in production. There's several other where you can actually put it on and use it in the automotive business, again, medical, SpaceX, they're doing a lot with that type of stuff as well.
Well, I think about equipment that I have worked with, and inside it might have, we'll take a printer like we all have at home. If you take one apart, there's plastic gears and stuff like that. So you could print that.
Absolutely.
As long as the quantity was
right, and I could do a larger quantity, but the reason for injection molding is because you can do so many so fast. Right. But take for instance Jay Leno. He owns a lot of antique cars. Well, those parts are hard to find. So he prints them. So that's exactly the things I can do and have done for people. If you have a hard to find type of part, I can print it, or we can scan the original and print it from there. That's unique to 3D printing. It's a big use for 3D too.
So what are the different materials? So I think you work with a specific resin, which is I don't know if all resins are plastic, but for people to understand, resin is kind of like plastic. And is there 3D printing with metal, with glass, with other things?
Absolutely. There's and I offer all of those. Now my specialty is in SLA, which is the liquid. So it's a liquid bath resin. So it's cured with a laser, 4,000s or 2,000s at a time, and it has its uses. It's more of an appearance side. But there are SLS, FDM. These are all materials that are strong. You can get carbon fiber fiber printed now.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Metal printing is huge. Probably the largest thing in printing right now is metal printing.
Okay.
So they can print you a starter within a couple of days for your car, and you could put it on your car.
Right.
So it's gotten to where there's anything that can be printed.
And so and you could do that if maybe it's not in-house, but you've got the network where whatever it is, you could do it.
Absolutely. With my experience, I have a great team around me that we help each other. So if they have a need at SLA, I help them or design.
Yeah.
If I've got one for SLS, then we work together on that.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome. Well, we need to take a break. Ladies and gents, we'll be right back.